Anyway, in the meantime, some of the smaller groups in Wales have formed together because the main groups like us, we were so powerful, and we more or less ran the Welsh squad in them days. I mean, the fighters in those days were incredible people. And anyway, this other group now, under Keith Mumberson, set up the Welsh Karate Federation. And believe it or not, they got Sports Council funding. And the Sports Council said, we can only fund you if you're all one body. So there's no way we really wanted to join them. But it took months of negotiations of this and that. And it was obvious that the Sports Council were going to give money towards competitions and funding the organisation. So in the end we ended up joining. It was never a happy marriage. The meetings were worse than the competition area sometimes. It was argument after argument after argument. In the end, after a year or two, we all broke away again. The KUGB, the KUW, the Bushy Kai, and the Kokushinkai, which was run by Julian Baker in those days, all broke away again. And we formed the Welsh Karate Board again.
Right.
Again, we were back to the same old thing, no funding. The other side had their own Welsh team, we had our Welsh team, which was all pretty farcical. And to be honest, the people they were putting out as a Welsh team was a joke. They wouldn't even go in our squad. But nevertheless, they were taking part in competitions, even yellow belts fighting for Wales in them days, if they had enough money to pay their way. I don't know how to be putting this in, but it's the truth. So after meeting after meeting after meeting with the Sports Council, because we were trying to get recognition, they were already recognised, but Keith Mumberson was such a clever politician. I'm not saying nothing bad about Keith, because he was a good politician. And, you know, there's no way we could have matched him. You know, we were all karate instructors and, you know, not politicians. And we didn't really care about the politics that much, but, you know, we had to go back together again. So we were all back in WKF again. We got along better. You know, to be fair to Keith Mumberson, he ran the WKF extremely well. But again, meetings weren't very pleasant. They could sometimes last up to 10 hours, just arguing. There were so many feuds going on between different instructors in them days, and still are today anyway, that to sit around the table and trying to get agreement was almost impossible. But anyway, me and Richie coached that team for probably 15 years, taking them all over Europe to fight, you name it, we went there. And in the end, Richie had a falling out with someone, so he jacked it in. I kept it going for a while, and then I know we were fighting in Paris, and I'd selected the team, and two of the best fighters in Wales weren't included. I didn't pick them because they hadn't been to squad training. So the committee said to me, they got to be in the team, and I said, if they go in the team, I resign. So they said, they got to go in the team. I'm paying for the best team to go. I said, well, I've selected the best team. You know, they're a squad trained. And in the end, members of their own club who were selected were dropped for them to go back in the team. So in the end, they turned around and said, oh, we're not fighting if you're going to drop them. So it was a right mess up in the end. So I resigned, and I can't even remember if the trip took place in the end. It was such a mess. So that was the end of me and Richie's era as coaches. We obviously coached our own squads, and that's how it went. I'll be quite honest, I don't go to meetings. I haven't been to meetings for years because I just can't stand all the aggression that's there. And you know, maybe I'm hoping so that my son will start going to them, because you know, you need to be represented. I think the people running the WKF now, Roger Williams, I believe, is running it. I think he's probably doing a good job. I think meetings now are sort of put down to 2 hours, and that's it. If it's not discussed in 2 hours, it's finished. Where years ago we go and sit there for hours and hours and hours and hours. So it's being well run now. We're still members. There's certain associations never ever went back in. The KUGB never went back in. They're outside. Julian's Kokoshinkai group never went back in. You know, so. But where there used to be 3 main organisations years ago, they're probably around 40 now. Yeah. And a lot of them are ex-KUGB members.